What is history? The lie that everyone agrees on. The powerful write it, the weak accept it, and the fools defend it. They erase the guilty, silence the truth, and call it education. You were not taught history. You were fed a script, one designed to keep you blind. The past is not what they tell you. It is what they hide. Question everything or be just another pawn who believes in the chains placed around his mind.
Marxism is one of the most influential social, political, and economic theories in modern histories. It was developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels during the 19th century and has had a significant impact on sociology, economics, political science, and history. Karl Marx was a German philosopher, economist, historian, and social theorist who sought to understand how societies develop and how economic systems affect people's lives. Together with Friedrich Engels, Marx examined that problems created by industrialization and capitalism, particularly the growing gap between the wealthy and the working class. The ideas of Marxism emerged during the Industrial Revolution, a period marked by rapid economic growth, technological advancement, and the expansion of factories. While industrialization increased production and created wealth, many workers faced long working hours, unsafe working conditions, child labor, and low wages. These social issues led Marx and Engels to question whether the capitalist system was fair and beneficial for everyone. Marxism focuses on how society is organized and how wealth and power are distributed among different groups of people. According to Marx, society is divided into two main classes. The first class is the bourgeoisie, who own the means of production, such as factories, businesses, and land. The second class is the proletariat, who do not own these resources and therefore must sell their labor in order to earn a living. One of the main ideas of Marxism is that there is a conflict between these two main classes. Marx argued that the bourgeoisie benefit from the labor of workers, while workers often receive only a small portion of the value they create. As a result, this system can lead to inequality and unfair treatment of workers. The ultimate goal of Marxism is to establish a classless society where wealth, resources, and opportunities are shared more equally among all members of society. In such a society, there would be no exploitation of one class by another, and people would work together for the benefit of the community as a whole.
Now, let's start with the main factor of Marxism theory in international relations. Marxism focuses on how economic structure, class relation, and capitalism influence global politics and create inequality between countries. The first factor is the existence of class struggle between the bourgeoisie and proletariat at both the national and global level. According to Karl Marx, society is divided in two major classes. The bourgeoisie are the owner of the businesses, factory, and the other means of production, while the proletariat are workers who sell their labor in exchange for wages. Marx argued that the capitalist system is based on exploitation because workers create more value through their labor than what they receive in wages. The differences between the value produced and the wages paid is known as a surplus value, which become a profit for the capitalist. This creates an unequal relationship between the two classes and lead to continuous conflict. Marxist theories extend this idea to the international level. They argue that wealthy and powerful countries play a role similar to the bourgeoisie, while poorer countries resemble the proletariat. Rich nations often dominate global trade, invest investment and financial institutions, allowing them to maintain economic advantages over less developed countries. As a result, inequality exists not only within the society, but also throughout the global system. The second factor is the exploitation of developing countries by the developed countries. Marxists believe that the global capitalist system allows wealthy countries to benefit from the resources and labor of poorest nations. One way this occurs is through multinational corporations that establish factories and production facilities in developing countries where wages are lower and labor regulation may be weaker. Workers in this country often receive low pay despite distributing significantly to the production process. This allows the company to maximize profit while keeping production costs low. In addition, many developing countries depend more on exporting raw material such as oil, minerals, agricultural products, and natural resources. These products are often sold at relatively low prices. Meanwhile, developed countries process these resources into manufactured goods and sell them back at a much higher price. This unequal exchange benefits developed countries and limits the economic growth of developing countries. As a result, developing countries remain dependent on wealthier nations for investment, technology, and markets. Marxists argue that this system enforces global inequality and prevents poorer countries from achieving genuine economic independence. The third factor is the belief that capitalism is the main force shaping international relations. Marxists argue that states do not act solely based on political goals or national security concerns. Instead, their actions are strongly influenced by economic interests and the needs of capitalist system. According to the Marx, capitalism is based on the continuous pursuit of profit and capital accumulation. Businesses compete with one another to increase production, reduce costs, and maximize profit. This competition encourages companies to search for new markets, cheaper labor, and additional resources around the world. As a result, governments often support policies that protect economic interests, such as expanding trade, securing access to resources, and promoting investment opportunities abroad. Marxists believe that many international conflicts, alliances, and foreign policy are influenced by this economic motivation. Therefore, international relations are viewed as a reflection of the global capitalist system where states frequently act to protect the interests of powerful economic groups and maintain the existing patterns of wealth and power.
Next, I will explain about the Marxism theory. The first analysis was inequality happened because of economic control. According to Marxism, society is divided into two groups, which is those who own the resources and those who do not. So, a small group own businesses, factory and land, while others have to work to gain wages. This happened because capitalism gives more power to those who own the productions. So Marx and Hegel argue that economic conditions shape social and political life. As a result, wealthy people continue to gain more power while workers remain dependent on their wages. Therefore, Marxism sees inequality as a result of the economic system rather than individual effort. The second analysis is conflict happen between classes. So what happened in the society is an ongoing struggle between workers and owners. So workers seek for higher wages, better working conditions, and greater rights, while owners aim to maximize profits. So this conflict happened because both of the groups have different interests. When workers demand for better pay, company profit may decrease. And when company focus on profits, workers may receive lower wages. So Marx believed that conflict between classes is unavoidable under capitalism and is the main force behind the social change. The third analysis is workers are exploited in this system. So Marx believed that workers is exploited under capitalism. This is because workers produce goods and services, but they do not receive the full value of their works. So this happens because workers do not own the means of production and must depend on their wages to survive. So Marx explained that the capitalists earn profit through surplus value, which is the difference between the value workers create and the wages that they receive. So as a result, workers have generate wealth but receive only parts of the value that they produce. So Marx viewed this as a major source of social inequality.
Next, we're going to explain about the impact of Marxist theory on international relations. Marxist theory has changed the way scholars understand about the global politics by focusing more on economic systems rather than only on the action of state itself. The impact of Marxist theory on international relations can be divided into three main shapes, which is shift from state-centric to structure-centric, redefining global power, and highlighting global inequality. Unlike traditional theories such as realism, which mainly emphasize military power and state sovereignty, Marxism argues that international relations are shaped by the global capitalist system and class relations. According to Robert Cox in 1981, political structures and international relations are strongly influenced by economic and social force. This idea is based on historical materialism, which explains that political systems and institutions are reflection of economic structures and production relations. Next, Marxist theory also redefines the concept of global power. In traditional IR theories, power is usually measured through military strength, political influence, or diplomacy. However, Marxists believe that real power comes from economic control, including ownership of production, finance, and international trade. Immanuel Wallerstein introduced the world system theory, which explained the relationship between the core and periphery countries. Core countries are wealthy and industrialized nations that dominate the global economy, while peripheral countries are poorer nations that provide raw materials and cheap labor. Because of this unequal relationship, powerful countries continue to benefit economically, while weaker countries remain dependent. Furthermore, Marxist theory highlights the issue of global inequality. According to Andre Gando-Frank in 1966, the underdevelopment of poorer countries is directly linked to the development of wealthy capitalist nations. Developing countries are often exploited for their natural resources and low-cost labor by multinational corporations from developed countries. As a result, poorer nations receive fewer economic benefits and remain trapped in dependency. Marxist argues that this inequality is not accidental, but rather than a built-in feature of capitalist system.
So next, I will explain the advantages and disadvantages of Marxism theory. The first advantage of Marxism is that it provides a comprehensive economic analysis of international affairs. According to Loftus 2018, Marxists argue that theories such as realism pay insufficient attention to economic inequality and the global structure that influence relations between states. Marxism helps us understand that many political decisions are actually shaped by economic interests and the global capitalist system. The second advantage is its use of class analysis. According to Tesh in the Oxford Handbook of International Relations, Marxism extends the idea of class struggle to the international level. From this perspective, states do not always act for peace or the common good. Instead, their actions are often influenced by economic interests and powerful groups within society. This perspective helps explain why wealthy and more powerful states often dominate weaker states in the international system.
The third advantage is that Marxism does not separate domestic politics from international politics.
Loftus 2018 explained that many mainstream IR theories treat these two areas as completely different. However, Marxists argue that what happened inside a country is closely connected to what happened globally. As a result, Marxism provides a more complete understanding of how world politics operates. The final advantage is that Marxism remains relevant in the modern world. According to Yalvar and Joseph 2024, Marxist theory continues to help scholars understand issues such as global inequality, poverty, economic crisis, and competition among capitalist states. This is why Marxism remains an important perspective in contemporary international relations studies. Now let's move on to the disadvantages. The first disadvantage is economic reductionism. According to Breen in Sage Open 2014, many scholars criticize Marxism for explaining almost everything through economic factors. This view also supported by Davenport 2013, who argue that Marxism is often seen as too reductionist and deterministic. However, international relations are also influenced by culture, religion, identity, and ideology, which cannot always be explained by economic alone. The second disadvantage is that Marxism is effective in explaining geopolitics and political power. According to Davenport 2013, Marxist theory struggle to fully explain issues such as state sovereignty, military competition, and international security. In this area, many scholars believe that realism provides stronger explanation. The third disadvantage is Marxism limited focus on environmental issues. Breen 2014 and Fro 2019 argue that Marxism traditionally focused more on industrial development and economic growth than environmental concern. As a result, it is often criticized for being less effective in addressing modern challenges such as climate change and environmental degradation. The final disadvantage is that Marxism is often considered as theoretical and abstract. According to Chris Brown 2012, Marxist theory is very useful for analyzing global problems, but less useful when government need practical solution and immediate policy decision. For example, in conflicts such as Russia-Ukraine war, most countries rely on diplomacy, military alliance, and national security strategies, rather than Marxist idea.
In conclusion, Marxism is an influential theory that helps us understand social classes, inequality, capitalism, and the relationship between economic systems and society. Even today, Marxist ideas continue to influence discussions about politics, economics, and social justice around the world.